Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, Episode 61, Enemies, Part 8. Yet another Enemies episode. I'm Nikodas.
I'm Grebog. I didn't think that would make you laugh so
I
much.
couldn't I couldn't do it with a straight face. That was really bad.
I mean, it is yet another enemies episode. Yeah,
Yeah, and I actually through setting this up, I realized that there's a very big enemy in the game that was not even on our list, and I added it, and that would be the Herc. So there's going to be an Enemies Part 9 because we still have to cover the Herc. Um, so yeah, we're not done with this yet. We might even have an episode 10 if there's more enemies in the game that I have missed. Um, again, that's a very major enemy. I don't know how I missed it, so I got no excuse for that. Anyway, how has your week been, Greybog?
fine. Just don't mind me running back and forth around here, trying to adjust things just right. Oh, and now there's a giant drone in my face. Way to
It's
go,
okay.
Master Kid Drone.
It's it's okay. The drone has a smiley face, and I've got it set up so it looks like it's your head. It's all good.
same on my screen. It looks like in my head. I've been doing well. Let's see. Is this we're talking about our week now, right?
Yes.
As we've completely derailed ourselves. Let's see. I've been playing a lot of Dyson Sphere program. For those that don't have a clue what that game is, it is kind of a factory builder type game where you have to build factories, set up basically ways to make like you mine resources. You have machines that can mine the resources for you, and then you turn them into products that you want, need, use, and it progresses your research. The goal of it is to see how powerful of a Dyson sphere you can set up and how much energy you can produce from a single sun. Um, so I've been playing a lot of that. The nerd of me went and took a spreadsheet and created an export list so that way I know what planets are making what and are able to ship out those goods. So that way when I go, because I found a star, the brightest star in my sector of the game. Um, I've wanted to start a main base there, so I can, because the brighter the star, the more energy you can pull from it. Yeah. So yeah, I've been doing nerd stuff. Um, Also been raiding in WoW, doing that kind of stuff. Hit exalted with the Death's Advance. For those that know that faction in WoW. But played some Final Fantasy 14. Gave it a try. It's interesting. I mean, it seems like it's a good game. I don't. My main drawback is I don't know that I have enough time to warrant paying for another subscription. If I you know what I mean.
I do, yes.
So that's my hesitation on getting a subscription for it. So
Well, for what it's worth, I just read online that you can actually play to level 60 without a subscription now.
well, I've made it to like 12. Um, so I could technically pick up another class if I wanted to, but I just haven't. I still am a lancer. So yeah, that's my book. What have you been up to in this past week?
I played a little D&D, played both online and in real life. The real life game is being hosted or being ran by a fairly young, fairly new DM. And he's got some issues that he's going to work through. That being said, the game was still fun. Nobody died. That's a bonus. Nobody died in the online game either, so there is that. Um, I've played a fair bit of Final Fantasy. I got my wife into Final Fantasy 14, and we've been leveling a pair of characters together. Even though in that game you can do every class on one character, um, I went ahead and made multiple characters to try out the different races. So I'm leveling a character with her, and that's kind of been a fun experience. Played a very tiny bit on No Man's Sky. Trying to get back into that. I still think that is a fun game. I enjoy the base building, but with everything else going on recently, I have not had the time to put into it that I really, really want. And been playing SEO. Been doing the dailies, the current event, trying to get that sort of stuff running. It's been interesting. It's been a good week.
I popped
Um,
into No Man's Sky the other day and learned all my plants had grew to the max, and I had to harvest and whatnot. So
yeah, it's been fun. We still have other friends that are in there. I know at Darren Bush has been in there quite a bit. Um, so yeah, fun stuff. So this week in STO has been a little on the light side, but first and foremost, I want to wish everybody a happy Star Trek Day. That's September 8th. It's the anniversary of the very first episode of the original series. So happy Star Trek Day, everybody.
live long and prosper.
Peace
I mean,
and long life.
yes. They also announced Timeline Needs You. Again, I guess. I mean, when you're doing time travel, you might as well you have to repeat it again. Um, so you'll find out a lot of stuff is starting September 8th. Also, I would keep an eye on the STO news. They may give us something free on September 8th. Sometimes they do that, and they don't give us any real warning other than a, hey guys, log in today and claim this. And so just keep an eye out for that. But other than that, also on the 8th, you will be able to start creating temporal agents again. I am currently on my temporal agent, so we can kind of go over some of the stuff here. You'll have until October 7th to be able to create your temporal agents. If you don't have any at all, I highly recommend at least getting one because of the reward system. And it's like all other of the age recruits. You get a basically a communicator transponder type device that will sit in your inventory and it will tell you all the rewards. This is basically what it is here. This captain is not maxed out. I kind of set him on the side and forgot about him, but you can see there is all kinds of stuff. They've already, if you already have a temporal agent, I believe they've already pushed the fix to the transponder, so you should be able to claim things. There were some missions that are no longer missions, so you weren't able to complete them. They are removing those and replacing them with new missions that are part of the game. Yeah, so it should be, create a temporal agent. You get all kinds of free stuff, and this account, unlocks account-wide stuff too. So definitely worth unlocking all that. I believe, yeah, there's even a, starship trait here. Technically, two of them. One is just the improved version, but still, highly recommend getting your temporal agents.
Okay. It's and like with all the recruits, after you get your transponder from the tutorial, you can stop playing there and pick it up a year down the road and still claim all those rewards and all those account unlocks. That is not the time limit. The time limit is just for creating a character and getting your transponder.
The only issue is if there's an update that makes a mission null and void, then they don't typically update the transponders. They don't typically do it until right before they do another recruit that is, release. So you probably, I mean, you can get pretty much everything. There would be, I would say, normally, even after a year, 2 years, who knows? I can't remember when the temporal agents were last out. It's been more than a year. I know that.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's actually probably been more than 2 years. But anyway, basically, I mean, there's you still probably can get 95 to 98% of it completed without a problem. So then you just have to wait till the update, and then you complete the new changes.
Although
Any
right now, as of Wednesday, you should be able to get all of it.
yes,
So if you want to work on it, that's fine. If not, make your character, get the transponder, set it aside, you're good. Going along with these temporal agents, they are coming up with a new bundle. This is the Legendary TOS Federation Captains Bundle. Goes on sale starting the 8th and will be 50% off until September 20th. So the standard price is 12,000 Zen or $120. 50% off until September 20th, so you can get it for 6,000 Zen or $60. For that, you get one level boost to 65 for a TOS era Federation captain. You also get that gives you 1 million energy credits, 1 million expertise, 250,000 rep dilithium vouchers, 5 times specialization qualifications, so you can train your BOFs, your bridge officers in a specialization. 5 enhanced universal tech upgrades, which I believe are roughly equivalent to the Phoenix tech upgrades. You get 36 times inventory slots, 12 bank slots, 6 bridge officer slots, and 2 starship slots. You also get a full suite of Mark 14 gear, both ground and space, all set for the TOS era, so all TOS appropriate. You get 6 times very rare TOS era bridge officers, 2 of each profession. They all come pre-promoted, fully trained, and geared with Mark 14 gear. And then you get the big thing with this bundle is you get an account-wide unlock for the legendary Miranda multi-mission cruiser tier 6. This includes all 10 variant appearances for the ship, including the new Malakowski class that just came out a couple weeks ago, which I imagine might irritate a few people because here's the legendary version. Ta-da!
that's yeah. I'm surprised I hadn't seen. I don't think I saw really any complaints about it, which is, I guess, to me a little interesting. But
I don't
I
know if people may not have made that connection yet, or maybe I'm totally wrong and they just don't care. But it seems weird to me because it's literally been, I mean, like less than a month since they came out with the tier 6 Malakowski class, or however you pronounce that word, which is set on the Miranda frame. You can use all the other Miranda parts on that too if you've unlocked them. And yet here just a few weeks later, they've got the legendary that includes the Malakowski class. So I don't know. It seems weird to me. Now maybe I have not done the check on it. I know typically the legendaries get you like all the previous traits. They give you all the previous
consoles.
universal consoles and whatnot, but maybe they don't. They're not including the Malakowski console in this. I have not checked. I honestly can't say one way or another. But there may be a reason that we're not seeing the backlash that I was expecting. I don't know, but it does seem weird to me. I didn't buy it, so I haven't decided yet if I'm going to buy this one. Part of me is really tempted to, but I don't know.
You have until let's see, the 20th to make your decision for the discount.
Right. Yeah, after the discount, I definitely won't buy it. So if I don't get it during this 50% off, then I'm just not going to get it. But I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I still got some thinking to do. All right, so we promised enemies. We promised some explosions during this episode. So let's get to it here. So to start this off, we've got 3 enemies we're going to go over. Each one of these enemies you can only fight in space. They do not have ground troops. Now, there's a few episodes and missions where you will talk to them or interact with them on the ground, but not in a combat sense. So these are space enemies only. And the first one I've got are the sphere builders. Now these are the guys that were in Enterprise that created the Delphic Expanse. They were trying to make our space livable for them. In STO, there's a whole story about them being the Tetryon and why they're living in this extra dimensional space and why they're not allowed to come live in our space anymore. You'll have to play the game to see that. But for our case in point here, these sphere builders use antiproton weapons. They have 3 ship classes: frigate, cruiser, and battle cruiser. And I have a cat blocking my view of my notes. I'm sorry, frigate, cruiser, and battleship. Now we're going to run an episode real quick. This is in yesterday's war arc, called Temporal Expanse. We don't really need to run the whole episode here. Um, the ground portion of this episode, we fight Klingons. So that doesn't really help what we're trying to show here, but we'll get into the space battle and show that off. Grebog, did you want to switch characters before we run this?
I already did that.
Oh, so you did. Wow.
That's why I put the order of things the way I did so I could switch while you were talking.
Well, let me re-invite you then.
Don't mind the rogue Cation running around behind Nikodas and meowing and such.
Oh yeah, yeah. She ran off at the moment, so normally she's good and doesn't really bother me when I'm doing this, but she is really wanting attention today. And she's being demanding about it. So what did I say? Yesterday's war.
Yesterday's war, Terminal Expanse.
Terminal Expanse.
We have discovered that the sphere.
All right. And then I'll transwarp over there. Now these ships, they tend to be a little tougher. They tend to hit pretty hard. They don't really have any special abilities, but they do use Temporal Agent bridge officer powers. Are you ready to begin?
Sure.
Oh, you already did. I got the notice.
I like that they put that into some of these newer missions where hey, you're in a party. You probably want to join at the same time, don't you?
In 2380, yes, I'm reading.
All right.
This sphere isn't active yet. We need to neutralize it before the builders can create an expanse.
And here we go. These are more Klingons. Oh, we may have to run through the ground. We may not fight them until after.
Reading multiple Klingon life signs on your bridge.
I was not expecting that. Teach me to pay attention.
Enemy reinforcements inbound.
Enemy reinforcements.
Okay, well, we're just going to have to run through this really quick then.
Sure, whatever.
I think we have a lot of science officers, but that's all right.
Over here.
Someone that we weren't even targeting died just because of the AoE.
Well, I think both of us are using weapons with AoE stuff, so it works.
Thank you.
So in case you guys are wondering about the bridge or the state of the ship, this is in the Kelvin universe.
Thanks.
So we are currently on a Kelvin
Could use some help putting out these fires.
Constitution class.
Come over here after you've put out the last fire. Over here. All right.
Use the starboard console. Together we can triangulate our scanners.
The Kelvin ships.
Yep.
Admiral Garrett.
And they just saw me almost mess up on that.
It's fine.
I'll stay on the.
I only have you as the primary right now.
Okay. So, clear the Klingons. So if you guys are curious, I am using the 22nd century phaser Mako rifle. This is what was showing off in the Enterprise series. At one point in time, this was considered a ground meta. I do not believe it currently is. I think the Discovery phaser rifle has supplanted it. But yeah, still fun. This mission is kind of interesting. So it turns out that the sphere builders are unique in that their area of space that they inhabit crosses the barriers of different realities. But it's the same sphere builders. So the whole reason we're here is because we found out they were messing up this timeline as well. So we came here to try and fix things. And instead of using Xindi in this reality, they're using Klingons, which is why we're fighting Klingons.
I was taught.
And I'm going to be really upset if I was wrong and we don't fight a single enemy ship in this reality. I looked up, you know, trying to do some research. I didn't run the episode, which I probably should have. I just read up on where you fight some of their ships, and it said it was in this episode.
I think it's a later part, because here we get to...
Yeah, so here's a Tetryon right here, or sphere builder.
You are the Tetryon, the envoy. Yes.
Something is happening.
Klingons.
It won't let me exit the cutscene. Oh,
You
I
have to
have
hold
to
it down.
hold it now. That's
Yeah,
new.
that's a new thing they started. Oh, this is your character with your ground build, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, it's not mine. No wonder it's taken me forever to kill these guys. I was expecting to skip this part of the story, so...
I have finished working on the sphere network. Prepare the final charge for detonation. Final shot.
The latest data is local.
Okay, back up to the ship.
Corresponds to this universe's quantum
Luckily, this is a short mission.
It can be. Since we've done it, I've done this at least 2 times probably before, for some reason. So I skip a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of reading to be done here. If you want to read like all the files we just downloaded and whatnot, have a lot of background information. So if it's your first time running this, might want to read through that stuff and, you know, get the story that the developers worked really, really hard on. Just saying.
Well, I encourage first time running through anything, getting the lore is great.
Builder ships inbound.
Here we go, sphere
There we
builder
go.
ships.
So there's their cruisers.
I will try not to blow them up super fast so we can look at them.
Those pulses are temporal abilities, trying to erase us from the timeline, and they're slowing down abilities, refreshing, as you can see here on my bars. They're pretty tough ships. There's a TFO that has these in there where you're trying to protect the Enterprise. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. that beam that it's hitting me with right now, that's another Temporal Agent ability, again, trying to erase me from the timeline. And the big ones. Here's their battleships. I don't know, I kind of think they're ugly ships.
I would agree. I mean, though, for any person, you know, for every ship, there's a person out there that loves them.
I have established a link to the charges.
Isn't
And
that how
here
it
we
works?
go. I'm gonna blow up the sphere.
No, we're gonna make it shrink. See, shrink.
Looks like a wadded up paper ball.
We made it shrink. You know, shrinkage, cold water.
Right. And then we go back to our timeline.
Nice work over there.
Oh, again, just in case anybody's curious, the outfit my captain is wearing is from the 32nd century. That's the Federation outfit from the upcoming 4th season of Discovery.
I'll see you back on the ship.
I tried to get the colors as close as I could to what I saw on the preview with Michael Burnham. I think I did a passable job.
Elsewhere.
You said that out the jackets from what? Which set?
It's the 32nd century set from the Lobby store.
Ah, cool.
On behalf of Starfleet and the Yorktown
From
Looks
it's
sharp.
the coloring I've got is from the upcoming 4th season of Discovery. In the 3rd season of Discovery, they use the same outfit, but the coloration is different. But you can set this up to look like the same thing that they had in season 3. But anyway, so there's that. That wasn't too terrible. I feel better now that stuff was actually in there.
Add the sphere builders to our list of known TLF.
Okay. Next up in our space-only enemies is the Malon.
Ah,
we're
the
going-
Malon.
The Malon also use antiproton weapons. They can create space hazards in the form of radiation clouds that will slow your ship down and give you a damage over time effect. They also have 3 ship classes: a frigate, a cruiser, and a battleship. And we're going to run episode The Delta Quadrant Reunion. There it is, Delta Quadrant Reunion.
Our first task in the Delta.
The Malons are trash haulers, essentially.
They are. They so again, for those that don't know, their technology is very similar to Federation technology in the form of warp reactors and antimatter collisions that create energy and so on and so forth. The difference is that the Federation came up with a way of dealing with the after effects. Oh, and there's some Kazon here too.
I mean, the Malon figured out a way as well. Just
Yeah, they just dump it everywhere.
find a system that they don't care about and dump it.
So they've made this whole business over junk haulers who travel around and try to find places to drop their junk, which sounds really bad once I put it that way. That was Kazon. That's another space-only enemy. We're going to highlight those next in a very quick and dirty way, so you'll see more of them.
Thank you for
This base is populated by Talaxians. My shipmate from
Right now, we're going to go say hi to an old
joined them
friend.
before they moved to this the Talaxians have been looking for a new homeworld for quite some time, and now they have found one.
stop.
The Alliance's history with the relocation of the Romulans will be invaluable in this process.
Thank you.
I
We're
guess
also going
this
to run through this. Sorry, go ahead.
this is a mission that I wasn't a huge fan of because it takes so long to do.
If we skip all the talking, I mean, anybody who knows Neelix, right? Unfortunately, we do have to get to the near end of the episode to find the Malons. Come on, Neelix.
Indeed.
They don't run like we do.
Improvement on your previous home.
Guys, we're in a hurry here. Come on.
Twice as large and completely updated. You should see the kitchen.
Should see the kitchen.
But you still seek a new homeworld.
Of course.
This isn't the one with the fight with the Vodwar, so.
What was that? The operations bay. Dexa was in there.
So this shouldn't be too bad. No ground fights.
For someone worried about somebody that was in here,
He's kind of jogging. Why it just opens for him and yet not for us, I will never know.
Tabby also doesn't like the Vodwar.
Dexter's a little several.
Who does? Okay, so we got stuff to do now. You got that one?
Yep.
I'll go back out the other way and try to grab another one.
Yeah, I was like the Vodwar, man. Oof. They're fun.
Their spatial charges almost make them worse than some of the enemies that came after them.
Okay, you are there. I will head. Oh, I missed the jump. So this is a slight jumping puzzle that I'm doing. I say slight because it's not that super hard. Okay, I got the crane.
I got this. It just took me a minute, but it's done. And the last one is where? Oh, this is the one we have to go downstairs for. There we go.
Downstairs, upstairs, somewhere. I think it's technically up here. Yeah, because you can look down below on where we just were.
Okay, that's done. Back to Neelix. Goes much faster when we can actually, run.
And doors actually open for us?
Yeah, and we don't have to wait on other slower people.
Now we have to help people.
Yeah, I think this is the last thing, and then we get to do the escort. Oh, you got that.
The lack of discipline among the Talaxians.
Okay, you stay there. I'll run over here. And there's another one further south, I think.
Greetings, really? I've known Menix for many years now. If he says he traded shifts, I believe him.
I'm almost to the next one.
Okay. I'll grab the next one then.
Betting work shifts on a game of Caddis Cot is extremely unprofessional.
I don't think Tuvok is impressed.
Hi there. Oh,
Drexa never worries about the details, but she's
Okay, I got the console.
Yep. And I got this one.
We just stay on opposite sides of the room.
But I work the shift.
Okay, I got the...
Hey, it makes it go much faster. And I got one over here. as I'm rolling around on the floor, because don't all cats do that?
Hey there. Oh,
Okay, now we get to pick. Now we get to pick who gets to do the work.
Did you find? Sounds like quite a series of miscommunications.
There, I just picked one. Okay, what are we doing next? Help the astrometric scientist. I believe that is back. You said it's upstairs? I thought it was downstairs.
Well, once you get up there, you can see the hangar bay.
I need to buy a.
I stayed down here in case that you needed me to run to someone else. I can't remember all the stuff.
Okay. There we go.
I can't think.
I need to we can
Okay, now we go back to the ship.
See, what you need to do, everybody, is bring a partner, and you can split up.
Thank you for
Our ships are.
Okay, now we meet up with them, and then we get to go annoy the Malon.
Are you ready to depart?
A lot of little starbursts there.
Are you detecting?
Find
Okay,
out
so
there's
here we
new
go.
radiation here.
At least you can help me clean this up when we're done. Here we go. Malon.
Unknown vessel.
We're going to try to talk it through. They're not going to listen. We have to blow them up. Because that's what Federation captains do, right?
If you can't win with peace, you disable them. You force peace upon them.
Yeah, and then they get mad at us and call for help. There's more cruisers.
So you can see that they just emit a cloud of gas.
Oh yeah, we should stop killing them so fast. Got another group here. This is going to be their big ships. So we had frigates and cruisers. Now we're going to have their battleships.
See,
oh, no, there's one battleship. Okay.
They are just
So, yeah.
emitting the gas radiation
if
cloud.
you fly through it, it will slow you down, slow your turn rate down. They will use tractor beams as well, so they're kind of all about control. But nothing real significant or outlandish about them. Just don't fly through the clouds and you'll be fine. And again, this is a group that you don't fight on the ground. Ever. At least not yet. I suppose they could always fix that later. Alright, we might as well finish this because we're right here. We clean this up and then the Talaxians get their new home and we get to move on. The crazy thing is, this has become, this trash dumping has become such an industry for them, such a moneymaker for these people and their families, that when the Federation offered to give them technology that would, you know,
solve
help
the
them
problem.
deal with the waste in a more environmentally friendly fashion, they said no.
Voyager's like, hey, we can give you the tech to handle the waste. They're like, but then we won't have jobs and we won't have that money that, you know. But they're like, but it'll make your lifespan, because like the people on those haulers were having a shortened lifespan. So, but they didn't care.
Yeah, and the one thing I never understood was why. I mean, that was one captain, right? Why Voyager didn't just go to their
Homeworld?
Yeah, go to the homeworld and say, "Hey, we'll give you this." I don't know. All right, so the last one here that is a space-only enemy is the Kazon. We're going to show you this in a patrol, so this will be really fast. This is the wanted Argala system.
Oh, right, I have to queue that myself.
You do have to queue that yourself, although it still should throw you in here with me.
Yeah.
This is also one of the best ways to level your ship and get the ship mastery. Okay, so we've got cruisers and raiders. Raiders are small, quick, basically escorts. Unlike Klingon raiders, they don't cloak, so they're a little bit easier to deal with. They use phaser weapons, and they don't have any special tactics or anything like that. Pretty standard ships, pretty easy
Their
to...
big ships will send out little flyers that you have to deal with.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk to the Benthans. There we go. I ran this a lot. But they have carriers, like he said, there's 2 carriers in this group here. And they will send out ships, but they're basically more of the frigates.
Yeah, I think they show up as raiders.
That's what I meant, raiders. I'm sorry, the small ones. Yep. There's group 3.
They are
they are slightly smaller than the other raiders, though.
Yeah. I would say, unfortunately, the Kazon didn't get a as good of a shake enemy-wise as some of the others. Meaning difficulty.
I like their ships, though. I actually think their ships look pretty cool. For the species. Like, it makes sense for them to fly these big, bulky, slow but somewhat powerful ships that fits the Kazon mentality. And they are pretty screen accurate as well. We saw these same 3 ships during Voyager's run. Although I still think that the Kazon were lucky that they got, Janeway instead of, say, a Klingon captain or something. I think Klingons would have just killed the Kazon out of, principle, out of spite. Unlike Janeway, who tried to talk to them and tried to work things out repeatedly, despite how many times the Kazon Ogla tried to kill her and her crew. One time they actually did steal the ship.
I'm sure it's fine. He's taking us with him. Where, I don't know. The Benthan ships that you're helping in this, I believe there are some in the maybe lockbox system or Lobby system.
Yeah, you can buy one. I don't remember where it's at either, but yeah, you can get one.
I think there is a Kazon from a lockbox too. Like the Raider. I think there's a Raider. I think that's what I may have given Malcor.
Oh, that's right. You did give him a ship, didn't you?
Yeah, he was wanting something. He was hoping to get something that could stealth.
Okay, and I'm gonna get fleet marks. All right, so that was the Kazon. Quick and easy there. Nothing special. Okay, and the last thing here that I want to go over is the Zen Cathy. Now this one's going to take us a little bit longer to get through.
Longer?
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. So we're going to do, let's see, this is going to be run episode New Frontiers, Scylla and Charybdis. New Frontiers. There it is. Scylla and Charybdis, which is the second to last one. Transwarp. The Zen Cathy, both in space and ground, use Tetryon weapons. In space, they have 3. Are you ready? Are you here?
Yes, I'm waiting on team according to this.
Okay. They use Tetryon weapons. They have 3 ship classes: Frigate, Battleship, and Dreadnought. They also have in space, they can have shield repair units, which are like little probes that fly around. The ships have high hull points and strong shields, but really they are more dangerous in groups. As the ships group up, they strengthen each other. So here's the frigates.
Here, I'll summon the Kobayashi Maru to help us.
And a cruiser. Their ships kind of look, well, they're almost similar to Cardassian designs, where they tend to be wider in the front, smaller in the back.
Well fought.
Okay. That's the big thing, is in groups they buff each other. So if you use something like Gravity Well or whatnot and you're going to pull them in, you're just going to make them harder to kill. That can be compensated for if you have sufficiently high DPS, or you can use something like tractor beam repulsors to push them away from each other. Wow, they're protecting their torpedo. They're using that shield repair unit to protect the torpedo. That was interesting. I don't know if I've ever paid attention to that before. Okay. And we're going to chase them again. On ground, as you'll see here in just a minute, they also use Tetryon weapons. They have a forward-facing AoE cone attack. They have a strong melee attack if you get that close to them. They have a grenadier who will just sit there and throw grenades all over the place. And then they can launch drones as well. They have a cloaking drone, a gravity drone, and a shockwave drone. We'll see those here in just a minute. These enemies are kind of unique to STO. They were never featured in any of the TV series. They were mentioned a few times, both, I believe, in TOS and in DS9. They were talked about a lot in Deep Space Nine. There was even an episode where, under false pretenses, they were going to take the Defiant into Tzenkethi space to try and prevent a war. But they never got there. They never got to Tzenkethi space. We never actually saw even their ships, let alone what they look like. We were told they were a reptilian species, but that's really all we got. STO kind of took that thread and pulled on it and came up with their own story, designed the species, and so on and so forth. I'm personally hopeful that we get to see some something similar in one of the newer shows, maybe in Picard or in Discovery, we'll actually get to see a Zen Cathy on screen. That would be really cool, and I hope they use a similar design to STO, give some credence to it.
Don't get all their attentions at once. It really hurts. I'll say that.
Yeah, they're starting to cut through my shields. I can see that being a problem.
I did fire at will, and boy, did that was a mistake.
Well, there's a lot of them out here. Oh, they're gonna get me. They're gonna get me.
I think I'm gonna start on an end and work my way over.
I'm just glad we have friends over here, like the Challenger and the Rotaran, to take out those torpedoes I missed. That was really bad. Okay, let's try this again, shall we?
Call in some help.
Oh yeah, I can do that too. I'll kill in my pirate buddies.
So yes, the red circles in space, don't be near them. Though, yeah.
They don't like me very much. As you can see, these ships are tougher, especially in groups. It takes quite a bit to take one down. Luckily, my DPS on this character seems to be sufficient. Ooh, that hurt a little bit, though. I did read online that their weakest spot is their forward quarter. So if you go at them straight on, that's where you're going to deal the most damage. However, that's also where they have the most weapon emplacements. So you will take a fair bit of damage as well. But if you think your survivability is up for it, take them head on. On the sides and rear is all about the same. They have stronger hull, stronger shields, but less weapons. So pick your poison.
Repair cruiser safely aboard. Thanks for...
Here we go. I got the big thing.
Okay, if you get the big thing, I'll get all the ships. That's how you want it.
I'm trying. So far, so good. I got it at 20%. Now I gotta get the ships off of me before they kill me. I'm gonna call my little buddies in. The ones that they're afraid of. Oddly enough, their tactics are kind of similar. They like swarming things as well, because, you know, they're self-buff. But they're really afraid of these Herc. But I have friendly Herc, so, you know. They're about as tough as they just don't have the mines, but they're about as tough as drawing a brain fart here. The other guys, the ones we all hate. Yeah, thank you. They just don't have the minefields that we have to dodge and worry about. Okay, while we're waiting to beam over and all that, you want to talk about our fleet and what's going on?
Our fleet. We have quite the fleet. So right now, we are close to unlocking the provision reputation bonus. We need some more fleet marks, which honestly I might be able to complete out if I were to switch through all my tunes and claim agent stuff. But that will give us bonus provisions whenever we do a provision project. That'll basically save us some money, I guess, in the long run. And then people can claim whatever they want in the fleet projects. So definitely something that we're working on. We just need fleet marks to complete that one out. Then we are also working on Stola Colony. Once we get the infrastructure to tier 4, we're going to get a 20% reduction on all fleet project durations, which will be nice. Means those things that were going to take like 7 days, whatever, might take 6 days and whatever. Whatever 20% less is. So that's definitely the next thing I'm pushing.
So I think we're only like 400 fleet marks away from completing that too, for what it's worth. So there, you see that jump, that's the melee attack. That can if it hits you, and it bypasses shields, so keep an eye out for that. We had some drones there for a minute.
Yeah, you get threat, and I will get pounded.
Get knocked for a loop. I'm over here by Martok. Oh, he's coming over this way.
Well, here's a fun console or thing I have. Watch this. I teleport him away from you and confuse him.
Was that your grenades or whatever going off? That was cool. Must have been one of the NPCs.
He won't be coming back from that. Clever. They rerouted their weapons control to the command deck.
But let's see. As for the fleet, I mean, we're still working on the starbase as always. That's a big, moving forward project system there. Here soon the colony is going to be that way too, because going from tier 4 to tier 5 is a huge level jump. It takes, I think you go from 100,000 experience needed to essentially 250,000. So we'll get there, and we're moving pretty well. It's just, I guess the thing is, don't get discouraged. Don't. Even though it's taking longer, it's supposed to take longer because of the experience jump required.
So we've seen the grenades. Those are the little red or orange spots showing up. The big red spots is the cone that we talked about. We've seen the shockwave drones. I haven't seen any of the gravity drones or the cloaking drones yet.
And yes, I just hit him with the butt of my gun. Because why not?
We're going this way.
And here's where we persuade them.
I'm gonna get the friends over here.
Here, I'm gonna... So here's some of their mines that they're dropping. You'll see the circles pop out around you. Something to note in this map is that these barriers, these are actually can do line of sight issues for you towards something higher, lower, or somewhere else from you.
Oh, I killed him, but he dropped a cloaking drone for about 2 seconds before I killed him. It tried to cloak him. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be our enemies for today. Next week, we're going to do something new. We're going to start going over some hated episodes. If you have an episode that you really dislike, that you maybe want to see somebody else tackle, see if we can come up with a better plan or different way of doing it, send us a message. You can find the ways to contact us at fleetactionreport.com. Other than that, I'm not sure what episodes we're going to tackle yet. That's basically what I'm asking for. We have a few ideas. I know The Vault is really disliked. I know Dust to Dust is disliked. There's I think it's called, well, I don't remember what it's called, but there's one that takes you into the Gamma Quadrant that's another shuttlecraft episode. And that I know a lot of people just really don't like those shuttlecraft episodes. But if you have others, or if you want to, reiterate that those are the ones you really want to see, let us know. FleetActionReport.com. You can also find us in game at Nikodas, at Real Grebog. Again, those names are up on the webpage.
And if you want to join us in Fleet, you can contact us that way, or go to aie-guild.org. There's a link there to join the Discord, and you can find the STO channel in our Discord and join us that way as well. So many ways to join us.
Right. I think we're done though for today, right? I didn't miss anything, right?
I think we're done. We are over an hour live, so.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see you guys next week with Hated Episodes Part 1. In the meantime, see you out there.
Live long and prosper.